2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Windsor Gardens or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
From Lord of the Rings, a musical tale. We welcome, look, I'm going to put it up there. I think the finest musical theatre voice in this country.
No, well said now.
Gemma Ricks. And I'm not overstating it either.
And also can hang her career off her eyebrows.
Yes.
And we'll get them on Instagram because as a man, I don't really notice my eyebrows, but Shaun, they are on point.
On point.
On point.
Gemma,
good morning.
Hi, Gem.
Hello. And, you don't want to mess them up, so you've got to, recorrect and
Sure.
full structure.
So, talk to me
an
about
engineer degree.
Talk to me about eyebrows because you had a previous life.
Yes.
What were you?
I was a beauty therapist.
Okay,
I
so-
did an apprenticeship for 4 years out of school.
Wow, because you got such you're so fresh looking, right?
Oh,
You're just
bless
there's
you.
naturally fresh people that are disgusting. And then I've always been, I don't have a strong brow, as we know. Mine sort of starts one colour and then fades out to
I didn't
nothing.
even realise you had
I know,
eyebrows.
that's my point. I would love a strong brow.
Yeah,
Why
well,
didn't you pop into the chemist and get some glints? And
Yeah, I'll tint you up.
You'll
I can
tint
do
me
it.
up.
Yeah.
Shaun, a strong
don't know.
brow?
It frames,
not sure.
It frames your face.
My face is basically just a poster in the wind.
I'm just worried that we'll wake up next to each other in the morning and I'll be like,
You are attracted to a strong brow, Shaun.
Now, as strong as your brow is, we're hearing rumours that you, as Galadriel,
Oh, dude.
are not wearing elf ears.
No.
This is controversial.
Yes, it is a little bit, but I'm grateful for it.
It feels like reverse cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to believe that you are the queen of
Are
the
an elf.
elves?
Well, I think in the way of my wig and my costume, I'm literally gold from head to
And then I
toe.
can't see your ears, either, 'cause your
No,
hair's down.
my hair actually covers the ears. And
It's acting with the suggestion of ears,
but
Natalie. That's what
that's
it is.
And I wear this magnificent golden crown, and so I think everything else is at 100. So I think you believe the elf land.
Did you try the ears and they were just too uncomfortable?
No,
Or you didn't even
they
entertain.
They didn't even offer the ears.
The elf ears were never on the table.
But we do have people in the audience that will be
I
dressed
bet they will.
with elf ears, and we
No
love
doubt.
it.
They could have popped down a red dot around Christmas time
Yes,
and got
exactly.
those headbands with ears.
Oh yes, yes.
Jim, can I ask you
Yoda.
about the songs in this musical?
Yes,
I'm
you
trying
know
to think.
them.
I don't know the songs that go with Lords of the Ring.
So it's actually written for this musical tale.
Okay.
So there were
Okay.
single ladies, put a ring on it.
That is brilliant.
There's
Ring,
seven
ring.
rings. 7 rings by Ariana Grande, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, but that is actually the thing that got me first intrigued, because when the audition brief came out, I was like, well, what is this role? My agent suggested, maybe look at the Galadriel stuff, and I did. I did some YouTubing and Googling, and that was what actually got me like, I want to audition for the show, because the music is fantastic. And the thing that people need to know about the show too is that all the actors are actually the musicians as well.
Oh, wow.
Okay, yeah, right.
Exactly.
So the ones that are playing instruments are playing the instruments.
And the characters.
So they're wearing ears?
No.
We can't get away from the ears. We're not going to. But hearing a new song for the first time, because a lot of us with all the musicals you've done, we know the song, so we go there and we get to sing along and stuff. How do you reckon we'll react?
Well, I think it's done so beautifully with the setup of you actually go into the audience and there's hobbits all around you.
Is it you're in the audience?
Yeah, so yes.
One of those, Nat.
Yeah.
Yes. And so there's interaction, and they're literally playing music and they're scatting, folk songs.
Scatting?
And, yeah.
You know the scat man?
Hobbits scatting.
the scat man.
Google that.
I mean, we still get goosebumps when we remember you doing Let It Go in Frozen, which is the absolute
I
showstopper.
told you.
That's such a big number, and you delivered it.
If I went
extremely
to Frozen and went for that song only and left and paid the amount I paid for that ticket, I would be happy with that.
That
Yes.
is the best
That song.
compliment
And also,
ever. Thank
I mean, you knocked out
Thank you.
Defying Gravity.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you've got.
Oh, yeah.
So the big crowd stopper, the crowd pleaser, the showstopper, the whole deal. That's your That's your line.
That's my shtick.
That's a jam.
Do you have that showstopper in this?
Yes. It's with the ensemble itself. So it's Lothlorien, and that's the song. So
what's it called?
Lothlorien.
Oh, it's going to be a hit.
Which is the land.
Lothlorien on TikTok. All the kids doing the Lothlorien.
Wait till Ariana Grande does it. You'll love it.
But it's this beautiful golden moment with everyone playing the instruments and the musicians, and
in the forest.
Yeah.
And literally,
in the land of Lothlorien, yes, ethereal, exactly.
And then, like, do all the hobbits in the crowd stand up? Do you get a standing ovation, or can't you tell?
Well, I know that people love it because they definitely do give me a big applause. So, yeah, that's a really beautiful moment musically. And then I get to sing another song in Act 2.
But you know in Frozen when the dress rips off and you're in the thing, is there
a moment?
I'm sorry, guys, there is no dress ripping off moment.
Did you ever shit yourself a little bit that the dress is all the clothes is going to get ripped off and you're going to be standing there like...
There were accidents that happened. Yeah, and the anxiety I had sometimes. Because you didn't...
you keep going? You have to, don't you?
Yes, of course, you got to keep going.
Because Nathan, she is freezing. She just her clothes off.
Nathan, you just let it go.
Yeah, but the thing was like I didn't want to wreck that moment for the kids. So the pressure
by being naked.
Well, no, because remember there's something underneath that dress.
But
it wasn't R-rated.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
if
it all came off. You'd be seeing Elsa's little snowflake.
There would be. There'd be a market for that, Gemma. If things get to that.
Yeah, we've seen that lady from Disney. She's killing it.
But imagine coming home, girls, after a night if you've seen Frozen, and then that's how your dress came off. You just stand in the bedroom and goes, whoosh, and it just pulled off behind you.
A relief. Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Hey, Gem, you spent so much time in WA. We're just asking you. You know your way around Crown like the back of your hand, obviously.
Yes.
Do you have favourite spots to go to when you've got any downtime?
Yeah, so I love actually just walking to Kings Park.
Oh, yes.
And walking around there, and it's just stunning.
Go look for the bodies.
Actually is, isn't it?
And then Cottesloe, of course, the beach.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're kind of my little two go-tos.
Do you get a car when you're here?
Yes, I hire a car.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Are you one of these beautiful red-headed, pale-skinned ladies that can go to the beach and not turn into a Jiffy Fire lighter?
No. I have to be smothered in sunscreen.
I'm literally in a poncho with Zincon.
Yes, I am one of those. So don't worry.
Okay,
don't worry.
You look like one of those crazy cave people that come out of the cave.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, no, multi-layered.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
People don't realise.
No, you've got to work very hard, especially in Australia.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
We can I could walk her to the car right now and both of them go up in flames.
Yes.
Would too.
Like a Molotov cocktail.
Yeah.
But with really strong brow.
Yeah. And those cars are parked underground. That's saying something.
If hearing Gemma talk about it has piqued your interest,
It has, I'm piqued.
We have a double pass for The Lord of the Rings, a musical tale, up for grabs right now, 13-24-10.
Oh, sure.
You're going to work for it this morning. You need to be calling 19.
The Lord of the Rings, a musical tale. It's now playing at Crown Theatre.
Called a 9, the Fellowship
Opens
of the Ring.
tonight, and it's a strictly limited season. It's only on until the 6th of April. Tickets from Ticketmaster if you want to go along. But Gemma, you can do no wrong. Everything you do, it turns to gold. You're amazing.
Are you going to America? Are you going to the Americas? Because you seem like a worldwide
Broadway.
talent. What's happening?
Calling?
No.
Are you joking?
No, well, if they ever called, but I've got a 19-month-old baby, so I'm just kind of busy. And,
Wow.
working and being...
Is the baby backstage?
No.
What happens?
No, I'd be too distracted.
Okay.
No, and he's having a nap then anyway. So he's with me, but...
What's his name?
Bray.
Bray.
Yeah, Bray.
A lot of kids have got cool names nowadays.
they have.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Dumb old Nathan. Ugh. You know what I mean?
Nathan, Nat, and Shaun podcast.
Matt Shervington, of course, we see him on Sunrise every morning, but he sat down with rising star Gout for an exclusive 7 News Spotlight special. It airs on Sunday. Cannot wait to see what happens with this one.
Me too.
And Shervo, the great one, joins us now. G'day, buddy.
Morning.
Hello, guys. Good morning. How are you?
Chervo. I mean, formerly Australia's fastest man, but there's a new...
Long time ago.
I know. but I mean, it's a great title to have. Not many people can claim it, you know what I mean? But there is a new kid on the block, isn't there?
I tell you what, I am just living through this bout of gout fever.
Yeah.
The good news is it only lasts for less than 20 seconds, which is just a phenomenal thing that we're seeing. This kid anyone that hasn't seen him, and it's very hard to find someone these days that doesn't know who Gout is based on his social media videos that have been going absolutely viral globally, but also the fact that he's now the 200-metre national record holder of a record that stood since 1968. Peter Norman, that Black Power, that infamous race that we've all seen reverberate around the world for decades now. Well, he broke that record.
Because that was set at altitude too, wasn't it? Because that was Mexico City,
yeah, it was, but it was just a phenomenon. So that was 20.06. He ran 20.04, and he was 16 years of age. He ran 20.05 last week and then broke that 20-second barrier with a tailwind. So for those that don't know, if you have a following tailwind of more than 2 metres a second, it's not ratified as a record or a personal best, but it's still a bloody fast race, and a race where you've got to move from start to finish in that time anyway. So he's the first Australian ever to break the 20-second barrier for the 200 metres in any condition.
Chevo, it's amazing and all that. At 200 metres, right? No worries at all. But when you were sitting opposite him, did you remind him, and I don't know if this is true, that you could beat him over 100?
Well, see, here's the thing, right? You bang on at the moment, and I say at the moment, and I emphasise that moment.
No, you're better. You're faster than him. You're faster than him.
I'm faster than him over 100. You're right.
And you can look him in the eyes. You can look him in the eyes. Like, I've got you covered.
Stare him down.
I don't care if you're in year 12 or not. I've got you.
And he would say, well, let's race.
He's such a humble kid, you know. Like, I do like him. He's a warm, humble kid. He's come from a very humble family, Sudanese immigrants that have come over here and they've started a life here. He was born in Brisbane, goes to school at Ipswich Grammar. He's a prefect there and at the school. So in the morning at the school, the school leaders, they stand out the front and they welcome the kids in, the younger kids into the school. Yeah. And apparently when he's there, all the kids line up to get a high five from Gout and all the other prefects get nothing.
I bet.
I want to know about the 3 other members of the 4x100 metre relay team at Ipswich Grammar. They don't have to do a lot, do they?
The national champions.
Just don't drop the baton.
Hang on to it.
Chevo, just on
get around.
With your past as a great sprinter, do you have any advice for the school kids that are coming second to Gout?
That's a good point.
It is hard. I mean, it's definitely a unique generation that the sprinters are coming through at the moment, but he is giving them the best gift that they can be given, and that is work harder, be more determined, because if you want to beat him, you can. I mean, you know, he's making people work harder and go back to training and find new ways to get better, and that's only a good thing. Rivalry is a really good thing. So, yes, the junior competitors are behind him at the moment. The senior competitors are on notice right now, but we've got our best sprint crop that we've ever had. And I say that, I don't say that lightly. We literally have our best sprinters we've ever had in all of our generations of success and failures along the way. So he's doing something special for the sport. He's keeping all of those amazingly fast guys on notice, and it's only a good thing.
To put it in perspective, he's been running times faster than Usain Bolt at the same age. Is that right?
Yeah, so when he was 16, his 200-metre best, which was 20.04, was faster than Usain Bolt. Usain then went on to run 19.93 seconds as a 17-year-old. Yep. At the moment, with that wind assisted, it was 19.98, so he's there or thereabouts. But he only just turned 17. He turned 17 in December. And he's following in the footsteps of Bolt, focusing on the 200. That's what Bolt did. He was a junior champion in the 200, world junior record holder in the 200, then became a 100-metre runner in 2008, and then we all know what happened after that. He's the world record holder in both now. So, but he's forging his own path. He's doing his own thing as well, Gout. He's going to be a different athlete. He's a slightly different runner in the sense that he's not as tall as Usain was, so he's going to have to find another way to generate power, and he hasn't got that kind of man strength yet. He's still young, so
he's only 17. He could still grow.
But some people, this is what I'm concerned. If there is a concern for me, it's that, you know, you go to school with those people who really peak early. Yeah, and you can play footy with guys who were ruckman one year and then they're playing forward pocket the next. You know what I mean? So, is there any chance this could be the case?
No, absolutely not. And I think I'd love, you bang on though. We've seen some great junior champions come through, and they sort of amount to nothing. But this is special. This is very unique. For anyone that is outside the athletics world, it's fresh for them. But we've been watching this kid for the last couple of years, since he was kind of 12, 13, 14, and he's shown this promise. But this is different. You know, he's the fastest in the world right now over the 200, and it's early days, yes, but he will be competitive in the times that he's running now, but he's only going to get better anyway. So, yes, he will make waves on the world stage for sure.
Are we running the risk of putting too much pressure on him?
Yeah, I think so, a little bit, and that definitely worries me. Fortunately, he's got some really good people around him. His family, as I mentioned, his coach, Di Shepherd, is fantastic. She's very, very straightforward in the way that she speaks to him and manages him at training. I got there at training and he was 15 minutes late, and she turned around and said, "What time do you call this? What am I going to call you, Hollywood or something now, am I?" So she'll keep him really well grounded. His manager, who I know and have known for years, understands the precious commodity that he's got with gout, and he's taking every care with it.
Unbelievable. This is going to be such a great interview. Look forward.
Yeah, because he doesn't talk much. So no, he's only 17, and why should he? Yeah, that's right. His manager tends to speak on his behalf. So it's amazing that you've actually got face to face with him, Shervo. This is great.
Yeah, it's going to be lovely, and of course Bruce McAvaney, and the voice of sport really across the board is narrating and sat down with him and just he said, "Oh, Shervo, this kid is he has an aura."
Yeah.
And I haven't seen it since Kathy Freeman.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, Shervo, before we let you go, when you went to interview him, if you go to a track every now and then, do you feel like chucking the spikes on? Do you have a run these days? Because I'm that type of person who would be there and go, "Oh, yeah.
Give it a go.
Let's get some wheels out.
Still got it.
Let's go." Yeah, of course. No, I went to his track in Brisbane and ran into a couple of former teammates of mine who were training on that day. They're now coaches, and they've got a whole bunch of athletes that they're looking after. And they said, "Oh, jump in. We'll do it for a few run-throughs." And by the end of it, my calves were absolutely singing. I'm lucky my Achilles stayed attached. But, I'm not quite as fit as I used to be. Hey, guys, as well, not just Spotlight coming up on Sunday, but also the Nationals are in Perth next month.
Yes.
So you're going to get a chance, those lucky Perth people.
Yes, it's early April.
To see him in the flesh.
Yep, that's right.
Oh, that's very exciting for us.
People are going to go down and have a look. It's brilliant.
Shervo, did you compete over at Perry Lakes at any stage? Did you come over for
Nash? Of course. Yeah. Well, all my friends in Year 12 went to Schoolies Week on the Gold Coast. I was at Perry Lakes doing the Pacific School Games. I was billeted out at Coogee with a nice family there. We went cable wakeboarding.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah, it was in Spearwood, which is not far from Coogee.
Yeah.
I have competed in Perth. I would say, repetitively over 10 to 12 years, I reckon.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Good on you,
Good
mate.
old days.
Love it. Love the joint.
Good on you, Shervo. We'll be watching Spotlight on Sunday on 7. Thank you so much for talking to us this morning.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, mate.
Nathan, Nat, and Shaun podcast.
So Nathan's had some banging in his life of recent.
Yeah, I know.
Mate, he's exhausted.
No, it costs a lot of money. Shaun, you should tell me. Yeah, 2 tiny holes in my trough. Trough?
Yeah, laundry trough.
Laundry trough from my hot water system exploding the other day, and it seemed to have had some acid situation that has burnt these 2 holes very quickly. I'm going to have to get a look.
Weird.
There's forensics on there.
Further investigation, but it means you're going to have to rip out your entire laundry.
And it's going to cost more than the hot water system.
That's crazy. So we're talking about small problem, but coming at a big cost. Chelsea, hello.
Hi guys, how are you?
Oh, Chels. What happened?
Welcome back, Nathan.
Oh, thanks, baby. Oh, I missed you, but I've been watching you at night. I've been watching you at night at your house.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, so glad.
Great.
So good to hear your voice again. I'm a bit of a crazy rabbit lady. We've always had rabbits because they're really cool animals. And over the years, they've cost us like a chest freezer from chewing through wires. Like fixing up carpets, so they've done that. Anyway, the last lot we adopted, which I think will have to be the last, we let them out all during the day because I don't want to keep them in a hutch, and then at night they go in the hutch. But during the day, they've gone to the neighbour's house for apparently a couple of weeks and dug under and been having a little fun there. But dug so much the retaining wall's fallen over.
Your rabbits have knocked over a retaining wall.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because they've done that much damage. Like, it's insane. Like, it's mental. When we had a look, we had no idea. So,
have you had a quote on that?
Yeah, it's about $12,000.
Oh, Chelsea.
Sean, it's a rubber-proof fence.
Yeah.
So they made a movie about it. Yeah. Your husband, is his name Warren? Because you love rabbits so
No,
much.
but we're having rabbit stew for dinner.
Of course you are. Well, you are now. Hey, Chels, how do you cover that expense? Is that an insurance thing as well?
No, because they're your pets.
No.
It's your fault.
Yeah, no. The neighbours have been really good because the fence wasn't the greatest to begin with. So they said, look, they're happy to chip in half, which is awesome.
Are you joking? That's really generous of them.
I know, but it's still it's not ideal for two.
No way.
Can I say something though? We're always looking for the upper hand in wars. I mean, whoever thought? Just send rabbits over.
Exactly.
By the end of it, Sean, their whole fort falls down.
The Kremlin will be crumbling,
People
Nathan.
fight with forts.
Yeah, well, that's why they built the Great Wall of China, Nathan, to keep the rabbits out. So because of that.
That was the first rabbit-proof fence.
Telstra ads have taught us anything.
Yep.
Well, Jesus, bunnies, hey?
That was full
Bloody
on. Thanks, Chels. Colin's in Stratton. Morning, Cole.
Hello, Colin. Hello, Colin.
Hey, Colin. Yeah, there, Colin.
First time caller.
Oh, well,
Cole, that's
welcome.
lovely.
I hope you're wearing
along.
protection.
Okay, Colin, take a deep breath and tell us your story.
Okay, so look, middle of last year, I was getting the great opportunity for work, right? So they're like, look, come in 9 a.m., first shift, it'll be great. I'm like, sweet. Look, it was a trial, but it was going to lead to really great employment. So driving through Nangara Road, tire goes out. I'm like, okay, look, it's fine, universe, whatever else, I'll fix it.
Yep.
Get out of the car. Surely, damage job, right? Fixing the tire on the right-hand side. In the 10 minutes that I'm fixing the tire, I get bitten by a snake.
Whoa, Colin.
Whoa,
This is your first day of a new job and you've got a flat tire and then bitten by a snake on the way to work.
And you can imagine the phone call to the employer. They're like, oh, sure.
What's this liability?
Yeah, this guy hasn't even come to the end. I think he's given us 2 excuses already.
That we don't believe.
Yeah.
So I end up in hospital, and I'm like, do they have to give me the antivenoms?
Yes.
And then I have a reaction to that.
Oh.
So I'm in hospital for almost 3 weeks.
What?
So they couldn't hold on to the job for anymore, so then back to job search.
Colin.
I lost you that job.
Hey, Cole, so you're on the side of the road, right? So you take your equipment out and start doing the jacking up the tyre. Did you feel that snake? Did you see it afterwards once you were bitten as well?
So I think I saw it. It bit me and then bailed because I got up obviously screaming.
Sean, if I bite someone, I run too.
Yeah.
So, Colin, you're on the side of the road, changing your tyres up on blocks, essentially. Your car's up on blocks. You've been bitten by a snake. How did you get help? Did you have to call an ambulance yourself or did somebody
straight
stop?
up called an ambulance. While I'm in the ambulance, I'm kind of like delirious in the heightened state from the thing, and I'm calling my employer. I'm not going to come in. I was bitten. And like,
as an employer,
No one believes
that. Don't tell us the place, but what field was it in? What sort of area do you work in?
So I actually work in drug and alcohol rehabilitation, but this was on Nangara Road.
Oh,
And that you would have sounded like you're off your head.
I think Colin might have relapsed.
But my thing about it is rehabilitation. That's caring. That's empathy. You know what I mean? I thought you give a little bit of empathy to the guy that couldn't get here because he got bitten by a snake.
Yeah, I know, but like, if they had to fill the role, they had to fill the role.
I think the snake bites just elevate the whole situation, especially after a flat tyre.
Oh, but then he had to go and react,
That's
didn't
a
he?
lot.
Like, you can handle the snake bite, you can handle the flat tyre. But when you're reacting to the antivenom, that's just pushing it too far.
Colin, how long does it take for you to feel a snake bite? How long does it take for that poison?
Instantly.
Really?
Instantly. That bite, and I immediately got sick. And I thought, when I looked and I saw this thing like scurrying off, and I was like,
was it a
I
dugite?
love this. Great.
What sort was it?
It was a dugite.
Yeah.
It was a dugite, yeah.
That's amazing, hey? Did you know what to do with your leg? Did you been elevated or not elevated or,
So, obviously, with drug and alcohol rehab, we do have that first aid training, but let's be honest, when you're in that moment,
it's you.
I don't think I did the right thing.
And also, that snake's on cocaine.
Yeah.
Right.
They say, like, tightly bandage and immobilise.
Because in my mind...
And stay calm. But as if you can stay calm
How do you
in that
stay calm?
In my mind, it's the old school movies. It's get a penknife, it's cut your leg, and then suck the poison out.
Okay, we have to say legally, that is not the answer.
It's get a steak knife.
Nathan, Nat and Sean in podcast form.
Oh, great to have the governor in the house this morning. He's going to be up and about on a plane. When, tomorrow, Gov?
In about an hour.
In about an hour?
What's on?
Oh, it's Friday.
Yeah, we're flying out. Yeah, 9:45, I think.
Take on Brisbane. The worst part about going up to Brisbane is that you have to come back because that's a 5-hour flight and that stinks.
Yeah, Yes, it is. It's 5 hours is bad enough. Sometimes it can be even worse. So we're just hoping for no headwind on the way back. But yeah, it's a long trip, of course, and I guess it's a little bit better that we do it at the start of the year rather than at the end, which we normally do.
When your bodies are tired and battered, yeah.
So long trip, big challenge for us, but it's all part of it for us. WA teams, Shauny, we got to travel every second week.
Absolutely. Now, you did make a good point. Fremantle were horrendous on the weekend. Your game yourself, reflecting on it. From the get-go, there were so many things that didn't quite go right for you. Skill execution in particular.
Yeah.
Is that the one area that you kind of focused on? Actually, I'll start off by saying this has got nothing to do with you. The midfield were horrendous. They had an absolute stinker, and that was probably put you guys under enormous pressure.
I did know, Gov, at one point, it was about half. I might have been a half-time stat when they put up the best possession getters for each team, and you and Harry Edwards had the most possessions. Tommy Cole.
Yeah,
It was you and Tommy Cole had the most possessions, and I'm like, that's a sign things aren't going well, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously it's not all about possessions, of course.
No.
If your backline
it's a sign.
A fair bit, it's means the ball's been down there a little bit. The midfield were poor. And I'm not just going to blame the midfield. It was us collectively as a whole team for sure. But Gold Coast midfielder right up there, probably one of the better ones in the comp, and we got tested on the weekend, and I guess it sort of started there, and even down back we went, the team wasn't good as a whole, so skill execution, for sure. We had some work rate issues from everyone, not just individuals, all of us, and then we didn't get our game plan going or anything from there, so it was a holistic bad day for us, which is probably expected with obviously a young group, first game.
Yeah, we had high hopes, though, purely because of the new coach.
It's
you know what I mean?
Season,
and
up,
historically, a new coach can sometimes miraculously get people up and about for some reason.
Yeah. Don't worry, we did as well. So we were gutted at the end going far out. We've worked on so much, obviously, through pre-season, and you want to sort of put it on show for the fans, and we delivered that. So it's a bit gut-wrenching, it's not ideal for us, but it's a long year. We've got an opportunity this week to bounce back and respond, and in Premier Team of the comp, Brisbane, so it's going to be a massive challenge for us, but that's what we got to do. Get on with it.
Gov, on the skill execution side of things, right there, I know there was a lot of things that didn't go. You can point out every part of the game that needed to be a hell of a lot better, but the skill execution thing was interesting because there was a couple of times where you could see that the chain of disposals was about to eventuate, but there was a mistake, and take away the fact that it was a mistake, there were signs that you could have gone and scored really heavily at times. That's what my opinion was.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you view some parts where you go, mate, if that...
Yeah.
You went for a real tricky kick in the third quarter, I think it was, and it was a bit of a lazy you try to kick, but it just missed by a bit. If that had have nailed, that would have gone bang, 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 and there would have been a goal.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. Or if the umpire actually walked out 15 metres, is the 15-metre play on kicks now is killing me. I don't know. I felt like it went 30, but...
it did. It went more than 15.
Yeah, so that sort of thing actually accumulates, especially in the back half when we're under a bit of pressure. You want to try and get a uncontested mark so we can control the game a bit, and then when it gets called play on. So, yes, Shauny, we've trained a lot of that sort of ball movement side of things, obviously in the off season, and sometimes skill execution lets you down, but you can sort of see it. Yeah. So there was a fair bit of that on the weekend. So hopefully we can just keep practicing, keep nutting it down, I guess, and then we can probably hopefully get a few more nicer players like that.
You have to head to Brisbane to take on the reigning premiers, and Jake Waterman's not going, so he's injured.
Yeah,
it becomes a tough. Not ideal.
Nah, not ideal. Oh, none of it. And
no, that's tough.
Jack Hutchison.
Yeah, another one.
I think I might have put
a big pre-season.
I must have
put them.
What did you do?
I know. He's very crucial to us at the moment as well. Yeah. So obviously 2 good players, but that's what a list is for, and that's what a squad's for, and for boys to stand up and take their opportunity. So we would love them to be out there for sure.
Yeah, I know.
Throw Oscar in the cage anyway.
Yeah.
Like he needs a moment in the sun.
Yeah.
And then Matt always was played a really good, and Jamie Cripps, and they and on TV you wouldn't have seen this, but their work rate was massive. Liam Ryan comes back into the team.
This is why they have him doing special comments on Channel 7.
really quick on the small brigade, and they can do some damage.
Hey,
David?
Gav, I wanted to ask, I get about 4,000 notifications for this. Do you feel bad that DD, the discount, has ended
Yes.
because you were getting 10% off until West Coast lost?
And that was all on you. That was all about Gov,
Yeah,
wasn't
I know. That's my fault. I apologise. I'm going to have to reach out to DD and just say, can you please keep it going? I gave everyone a bit of a discount for a little while there, but I hope everyone cashed in. But
it was good while it lasted.
Yeah, I'm going to just hit them up.
Until the first game.
Come on, get around us again. Let's just wipe that one and we'll start again.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat, and Shaun.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, Reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Windsor Gardens or download the Revo Fitness app, revofitness.com.au, or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
We have got David Croft, the voice of F1's in town, which is fantastic to have him in here in person. Dave, I just said to you before about you get to travel around the world and meet all these amazing people along the journey, and is there a few that stand out that you've met which is just like, oh my God, I've just met this person.
So you're
or they
meeting
wanted
heroes,
to meet
but
me.
they're excited to meet you.
So I don't do selfies very often.
Yeah.
I've done 3 selfies in my time. One was with Nicole Scherzinger when Lewis won the title. She was
Pussycat doll.
Pussycat doll.
Yeah, of course you have to.
She was lonely at the back of the garage. No one was talking to her.
Yeah.
I felt I had to.
You had to.
One was with Vince Neil, the lead singer of Motley Crue, because I'm a big Motley Crue fan. One was with Lars Ulrich, the drummer of Metallica.
wow,
yes,
okay.
come on.
And
Great.
I waited around for that one. But we talked about the F1 movie and Martin and I being in it. I'm the only person in the paddock who hasn't met Brad Pitt yet.
Oh, right.
So we were telling this story on stage last night. I'm like, I haven't met Brad Pitt. My wife has spent a day with Brad Pitt, showing him around and looking after him. But I'm yet to meet him. And Karun says, well, I've met him. I said, have you? He said, well, yeah, like you. I've been trying to look out for Brad Pitt, but I couldn't see him. And we were at Silverstone and finished the commentary and went to the toilet because, we've been on air for a couple of hours. Mm-hmm. And as I'm standing going for a wee, who should walk in but Brad Pitt?
Into the toilet.
To stand next to Karun.
Midstream.
Wow. Midstream. Now, Ross, Shaun.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what it's like. You don't.
Eyes straight, eyes
straight
forward,
ahead.
no matter what.
So I did ask Karun on stage, did you look down?
Yeah, a glance.
Got to.
Because it's Brad Pitt, right?
You got to.
He didn't do it.
He did it.
You got to.
No, he did, but he didn't want to admit it.
Well, Nats, I think you've seen right through this one, to be fair. So, if you want to see Brad Pitt, hang around the toilets.
That's the answer.
That is the answer.
I mean, Shaun has been hanging around the toilets a lot, so...
I have.
How's that working out for you so far?
Well, Ross actually was doing a gig. It was last summer, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Ross.
I used a toilet at Kings Park. It was backstage. Dean Lewis is performing. He does a lot of songs, Be All Right. And I was told I could use one of these VIP toilets. The only ones anyone can use in this section, big section, a lot of people went in there. Very nice. It's called a VIP toilet.
VIP toilet?
Yep. Came out, just did a wee, by the way. And opened the door. Dean Lewis is standing there. I love Dean Lewis, big fan. And he's stone-faced at me, and he's like, but it's not a big deal, but just so you know, that's my toilet.
But it's not a big deal.
Mortified.
Wow.
So I annoyed Dean Lewis by using a toilet.
See, you've made it big in life when you have your own throne.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know, but like even Brad Pitt was sharing the toilet. You know what I mean? Dean Lewis, get over yourself.
Because he's a man of the people, Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
You're right.
Man of the people. Hey, Crofty, when you're doing the commentary, do you get fed? Do they bring in food for you? Do they bring in...
Like the waiters with the cloches.
Yeah, halfway through, we sit down for a 3-course meal. No, believe it or not, I eat a substantial breakfast with hash browns. Just advice to any hotelier out there: don't deviate from a hash brown at breakfast time. I don't want cubed potatoes. I don't want boiled potatoes, and I don't know what a potato rosti is, but I will have a hash brown. Thank you very much. So I have a bit of breakfast, and then I won't eat until later that evening because I just find if I'm eating beforehand, your mouth's never quite the same.
Yeah, sure.
Right, when you've had something to eat.
Yes.
Broadcasters who eat biscuits and then go on air, I don't know how you do it, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I see no biscuits in here. It's a picture of health. So, no, I won't.
That's right, athletes.
I won't do any food. Do you have food yourself before you go do a Dockers game?
Well, I actually had some, the triangle sandwiches that they roll out. They cut the crusts off and all that kind of stuff.
Cut the crust off? You are a big deal. If they do.
Yeah, isn't he just?
They were just there. Half of them were soggy, and I was pretty hungover from Saturday night, and I hadn't eaten much in the morning because I wasn't feeling great. So I thought I'd eat that, but I was concerned about that slowing me down.
Yeah. Don't do it. I mean, the fact that you've not got crust probably is okay.
Helps, yeah.
By the way, I know it's only a small thing, but cutting the crust off bread, doesn't it make you feel good?
Makes you feel valued.
It does.
Yeah.
So in Japan, we're going to Japan soon.
Yes.
The sandwiches they sell in 7-Elevens.
Oh,
and
yes.
stuff, no crust on them.
Yeah, that's right.
And my wife was like, "Can you bring some back?" I mean, what do you mean? Can I bring some back?
We called sandwiches. What is she?
Yeah, without crusts on, because she absolutely loves them. And I'm like, no, darling, just make your own sandwich
and cut the crust off.
Cut the crust off. But they're just so much nicer when someone else
bless
does
her.
it.
Hey, Crofty, Shaun learned a valuable lesson at his first commentary appearance this weekend, just past. Have you done it hungover?
Yes.
Okay, how does that go? And how much, is it something you just do once, or have you not learned your lesson?
To be fair, it is something you do once, and I've never done it while I've been with Sky, but when I was on BBC Radio, we went to see Eminem in concert in Sao Paulo. And we had a brilliant
Sao
night.
Paulo,
It
wow.
was so good. And I got back to the hotel, and one of the team principals was at the bar, and he said, "Do you fancy a caipirinha?" And I'm like, yes, because I'm buzzing, because I've been to a gig. 7 caipirinhas later, it's 5 a.m., and I've got to be up at 7. And I actually fell asleep on the floor of the commentary box in between practice and qualifying.
Wow.
And Anthony Davidson, who was working with me then, actually kicked me so hard because I wouldn't wake up with being shouted at. And he was actually kicking me. And I kind of got up, drained a can of Diet Coke, and then went straight on air. But it was painful.
Yeah.
I was commentating at about 20% volume.
Yes.
My head was killing me. Don't do it, guys.
Okay, that's a valuable lesson.
I've written that down.
Nathan, Nat, and Shaun in podcast form.
We were in the middle of a conversation. There wasn't even a pause, and Nat's just straight into, welcome back to Nova 93.7.
So
Say 26 across Perth.
Yeah, Crofty just said, Ross is very impressive. He knows exactly what's going on. And then it's look over, we've got 4 seconds to go, bang, straight into it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with these guys. They won't stop until the mics go on. Sometimes, and the things with Shaun, what he's saying like milliseconds before that mic goes red, is
it's fraught with
danger.
Yes, it is.
It's fraught with danger.
Have you ever sworn on air?
No. Honestly, for someone, I do swear a little bit off air. I've never done that yet.
Yeah, because
I'm sure there will come a day.
Because things are, happening. Obviously, Oscar Piastri's spinning out and going off.
Exactly.
The rest of the country swore at that moment.
Oh, my God, yes.
So the fact that you don't is testament to how professional you are.
When I was watching the Azerbaijan Grand Prix last year, and Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez crashed, and I was at home on my couch commentating to myself, I did swear then because I could see it coming, and then there was a big exclamation. In fact, very nearly swore on the Ricky, Tim, and Joel show.
Oh, did you? Yeah, right.
We were playing Quick Draw.
Yes.
Yes.
And it was what was it? Name a word beginning with F that you would shout out, and I went, for heaven's sake!
Say
they were baiting you. That's what was going on there.
Properly.
Yeah, you nailed it.
I beat her.
Of course you did.
I'm quite pleased about that.
Yeah.
Ricky's really competitive.
She is.
really
Yeah,
good.
that's right. That's right.
Daggers across the table.
Yeah.
Crofty, being in the motorsport industry, if you wanted to get your hands on a Ferrari, if you could afford to get one, could you
get a staff discount?
Yes. And who can I ring?
Well, as you're sponsored by the fuel provider for Ferrari, I'm going to see them first, to be honest. You can buy old Formula One cars. In fact, Bernie Eccleston has just sold part of his car collection. He has others, but there's a lot of cars. And I don't know how many, it's at least 50. Now, it's going to cost you a bit and
the fuel's going to cost you a bit.
The fuel's going to cost you a bit.
You're putting unleaded in it. I take it.
These are cars from yesteryear and modern day, and they went for about $500 million.
Oh my God, Father!
So he had a fire sale. Did he need the money or
fire sales? Probably not the word. What words there?
Put it this way: the tax inspectorate in the UK have been asking Mr. E to pay them some money.
Okay, right.
So there might have been.
Did that cover it, or
I would hope so. I really would.
What's he worth these days,
Bernie? About $500 million more than he was last week. I don't know. Do you know what? Next time I'll ask him.
Yeah.
And
So
then,
Sean wants to know.
And then I'll come and work with you on the Aussie rules because I won't have a job. Some things are just not worth talking about.
Do any of the drivers these days and teams, do they have their own private planes?
Yeah, Max has just got a new one, actually.
Did he?
Oh,
yeah, Max has just taken delivery of a new one. Lando Norris flies Max Air, so they kind of go together.
Max Air.
But a lot of the drivers kind of club together and they will all go on a private jet
They'll
to certain
carpool.
races. And I can understand it. That it is way more convenient and they can all go together and you avoid situations like Alex Albon had at Melbourne Airport yesterday where I'm led to believe that he was late for his plane and the woman on the tannoy was announcing to the entirety at Melbourne Airport, Alex Albon, your plane is about to depart, please come and get on your plane.
So then everybody knows he's there.
Yeah, not good for an F1 driver to be slow now, is it?
No.
So we won't be taking the mickey out of Alex Albon at all.
No, I imagine. Yeah. So Shanghai's next.
Shanghai is next, sprint weekend, so it's a bit of a change around. And then we're home. Then I go to Vegas for a day, as I was saying, which is ridiculous. And then it's Japan and Bahrain and Saudi. And before we know it, we'll be 5 races down and over a fifth of the season will have gone by.
I mean, obviously Australia's a favourite, but what's your second favourite of all of the races?
Okay, it in terms of racing...
we can put a line through Brazil after
Silverstone's my favourite.
Yeah,
because it's the home of the F1 World Championship. I think it's the best track.
Yep.
And I love it. Austin is a magnificent race to go to. If anyone is ever thinking about, do I do a big flyaway race, go to Austin.
It's a fun town too,
Austin,
Austin, isn't it?
Sensational city. If you like beer, if you like steaks, if you like F1 and you love music, Austin's a place to go. There is something about me that, as a lad from Stevenage who didn't, grow up in the finest place in the world, standing on a super yacht in Monaco is quite nice.
Yes.
And that's such a classic.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I would never want to see Monaco disappear because Monaco Formula One without Monaco, it's like this show without Nathan, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Flourishing. No.
Ross is now looking at me.
Yeah.
You absolute
I'm only
moron.
joking.
No, there's something missing if Monaco isn't there because these cars are not designed to be racing around the streets of Monaco.
Yeah.
Might not be the most exciting race ever, but something can happen in any split second.
Yeah. And we love Monaco because Danny Rick did actually win there.
Well, Mark Webber was very successful all the time there.
Yeah.
Mark Webber was.
Yeah.
It's such a difficult place to pass. If you can muscle your way into the lead, away you go. It's fabulous.
Yeah.
But, Vegas is a great race as well. Brilliant for you guys here in Perth because it's on at a much better time of day.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that there are more and more races now where the dedicated fans of Australia don't have to stay up every night in the middle of the night.
That's a bit of a bonus, isn't it? Yeah, so it's spread through all of the time zones. Yeah,
it's
that's
a world
great.
championship. But on that subject, we should be in Africa. We're not on the African continent. We should be. We are a world championship.
So where do you think it would be?
Well,
so
South Africa,
Cape Town or somewhere?
Cape Town wants a street race.
Yep.
Kyalami is a Grade 1 circuit. Rwanda have expressed an interest as well. We should be moving heaven and earth to be on the African continent.
Something like Marrakesh would be amazing too, wouldn't it? Can you imagine?
Marrakesh?
Yeah.
I know nothing about Marrakesh.
So Morocco, it's it's an incredible city.
Hippie
it's
vibe.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's the square in Marrakesh will blow your mind, like literal snake charmers and people with monkeys on their heads and everything. It's just got everything. Yeah, bring
People
that on.
with monkeys on their heads.
That is everything.
That is everything now.
It's everything you've ever
We're
wanted.
going to Marrakesh, Nat. So
I know, let's bring it on. Crofty, thank you so much.
Thank you,
It's been
David.
an absolute joy having you, and you are welcome anytime. And if you could just continue to give Sean a bit of feedback about his sports reading, that'd be terrific, and take it on board, I'm sure.
When's your next sports bulletin?
About a minute.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
2
I'll
minutes
do
from
it
now.
for you.
David Croft, everybody, the voice of F1.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
We all watched the vision. Some people didn't believe it yesterday, looking at our producer, Amy, of the astronauts returning to Earth after, they went to the International Space Station for 8 days. They stayed for 286, which is a lot more than initially intended.
Absolutely.
They finally got to come back yesterday. Time to catch up with Dr. Shauny, who we've met here. She's been in the studio with us, to give us the lowdown on everything that they're going through. Shauny, hello.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, this is so amazing. We watched all the vision yesterday. I've got to admit, though, I was kind of with Amy. I was watching it because it was coming through from a satellite coverage, and I was thinking, oh, we've been stung here. This is a phony.
It looked like it was CGI'd.
But very exciting.
Did it look that way to you?
You know, the tip-off was that it was so perfect that if this was CGI, that they would have ruined it, because anyone who's doing a fairy tale kind of story or a Hollywood ending would have known not to put the dolphins in, because they knew that would have kind of been, push the limits of belief or disbelief. And, this was so picture perfect. It was during the daytime, clear ocean, calm seas, beautiful turquoise waters. For anyone who was watching live, they saw these beautiful main shoots just unfurling like jellyfish. And then, out of nowhere, these dolphins come right up to the SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule as if to say, hello, welcome back, we missed you. It was just so perfect.
It's crazy.
So, Shauny, they were in there 286 days. What type of, how's their body? What would be going on with their body?
It takes a toll, right?
After that long.
There's a lot, yeah. So the three main systems, so the short summary is that every single bodily system is affected by being in space, but the three main ones that will be focused on for rehabilitation will be the cardiovascular systems, the neurosensory systems, and the musculoskeletal systems. So just think of your inner ear, your heart, as well as your muscles. And so for anyone who is watching the landing live, you'll notice that each one of the 4 returning crew members were wheeled out on stretchers, and that's not because anything was wrong. It's a matter of protocol, because imagine that you have not stood up on your own 2 feet for 9 months. Imagine the next time you try to stand up, your legs are going to be decompensated. You're going to have a hard time just even trying to maintain the blood flow to your brain. The valves in your legs are very compensated, so you have a very real risk of fainting or falling over. And your inner ear, which has spent all this time in 0G, where there was no up or down, suddenly has to relearn all of that. So, you saw them being whisked away to their initial medical evaluation, where they were given their first once-over from head to toe by the flight surgeon. And all of that's protocol because, they're adapted to one gravity environment, in this case being a lack of gravity environment, and now they have to get used to being in the 1G that you and I take for granted every day.
It's amazing to think about all this stuff that they have to go back, particularly learning to walk again. So what kind of a process do they have to do, Dr. Pandya, to be able to get their legs? Is it just a couple of minutes here and there?
Yeah, what's the rehab involve?
It's a lot is the short answer. So these astronauts are very well looked after, and that starts at pre-flight. And so every astronaut is different. Their readaptation process is different. The amount of muscle mass loss and what the rehab program they'll each go through will be tailored to each individual astronaut. So they will be immediately taken by helicopter back to mainland from the landing vessel. Then they'll be flown back to Texas. And then in the coming days, rehab, blood tests, imaging, it all starts. And they're not even doing anything that's extremely strenuous like jogging in the first week because they're still learning how to walk. So it'll be this cross coordination between getting maybe some cardio on a less high impact cardio machine like an elliptical. There will be definite retraining for coordination, so some hand-eye coordination, maybe with a ball, and then just re-strengthening those core muscles like the abs, which we haven't had to use in space. So it's very, very meticulous. It goes on for at least a month, and it's tailored to every astronaut. And then, just to start getting used to resistive exercise in a safe environment, they might do what we call hydrotherapy, which will include some swimming and some water exercises as well.
Oh, Nat.
I imagine that even just getting used to gravity again is going to blow their minds, that if you drop something, it's going to fall to the ground.
Exactly.
Whereas they're used to things just floating around them. That must be, even that would be hard to get your head around.
Yeah, There was this. There's so much here that we take for granted. So there's, of course, the gravity. And then one point that was made during the landing commentary yesterday was that this is the first time they will be breathing fresh air in 9 months.
Wow.
So, we can just walk outside if we feel like it. They can't. So it really does kind of hammer home how much we take for granted just being here on Earth. So, they've been through a lot, but they all four of them, Butch, Sonny, Nick, Alexander, showed that they were up to the task.
Was there any physical advantages of being in space that long? They're not getting melanoma up there, I assume. But, is there anything that would be better off once you're in space for 286 days?
You get to fly. It's I've been in parabolic flight. I've done almost 190 of these parabolas now, so much shorter duration than what an International Space Station mission entailed. But it is incredible. It's floating is one of the most freeing feelings you'll ever get to experience. I can't wait to experience it again myself. And there's a lot of fun to be had up there. Koichi Wakata, one of the famous Japanese astronauts, has this incredible video of him playing all the positions in baseball as a one-man show. So he'll throw the ball, and then he'll race to the other side of the station. He'll catch it. He'll meet it in time to hit it with a bat and then go back and catch it. So, you can get pretty creative up there.
It's hard to throw a fastball, though.
Absolutely. And he got caught out trying to steal home, which is unbelievable. I wanted to know, Dr. Pandya, do you know, so the astronauts are safe at home, and we all know that now. They got on the stretchers and they go off. Do you know what kind of foods that they would want to be eating and or allowed to be eating? Because you'd think, oh my God, thank God, no dehydrated stuff. Do I get a burger? Whatever. But I'd imagine your body wouldn't take to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so their nutritional status is very closely monitored. So when I say these guys are well looked after, I mean it. There's a whole team of flight surgeons, psychologists, nutritionists, rehab specialists, all looking after them. But the luxury that they get being back here on Earth, they can actually have fresh fruit, fresh vegetables now, which, up on station are a whole luxury because they're vegetables and fruit. They're wet, they're heavy, they have a finite shelf life. So, an orange that you and I may take for granted is sent up as a luxury item for Christmas. So these guys get to go back to their usual diet soon, and of course their nutritional status will be closely monitored.
Theoretically speaking, how long would it be before those particular astronauts, Sonny and Butch, would be able to go back up there again?
That I would actually be highly dependent on each astronaut. I'm sure they want to spend some time with their families. And
how about you turn them around? Back you go. So physically, within months?
Some of it will be dependent on what their pre versus post-flight status is. So their bone density, their muscle mass, their core muscle strength, all of that is meticulously recorded before flight. And then those same measurements are undertaken post-flight. And then trying to get them back to their baseline, all of that. For example, for bone density loss, that's something we haven't talked about yet. They would have lost, 1 to 2% per month if they hadn't been doing exercise up on the station.
That's significant loss,
Yeah, exactly. So looking at when they get back to their baseline, there's a whole lot of mission debriefing. There's a whole lot of recovery from this mission that needs to happen as well. So it won't be anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, they'd have to be keen as well, which they're probably not.
You're freaking fly miles, though.
Dr. Shauny Pandya, our favourite doctor/astronaut, thank you so much for talking to us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. I can't wait to be back. I will be back in Perth in September of this year, so hopefully we can meet up in person.
Yes, we'll catch up with you then. That's wonderful. Thank you.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Yesterday we got the opportunity after the show to catch up with Teddy Swims. He was in Argentina at the time. Delightful man.
He was really nice.
Really lovely, genuine. Of course, the reason is that he's headed our way. He'll be playing RAC Arena in late October. The tickets go on sale to the general public on Monday.
We were giving away tickets this week. We're going to hold some off to Monday.
Yes, we are. All right, let's have a listen.
Good to see you guys.
We're excited that you are coming to Australia, Teddy. Back again, because you are much beloved here, aren't you?
It's my favorite place in the freaking world. Y'all know that.
Really? Teddy, you're travelling all around the world at the moment. Are you coming to us right now from Argentina?
Yeah, I'm in Buenos Aires right now. It's 11:04 p.m. So I'm having an Aperol Spritz. So, you know what I mean?
How good?
Does it taste as good as I think it does?
It's pretty sweet, baby.
Hey, Teddy, I've never been to Argentina. Give us a rundown. Have you been able to take up the atmosphere of the place, or are you just busy?
Have you done the tango in the street yet?
Not too much. I mean, we went today and had some empanadas, and then saw they had this beautiful cemetery situation, which was like the cemetery was so incredible. It was like all these mausoleums and you got to look into this cemetery in Argentina, and in Buenos Aires. It was one of the most beautiful experiences I gotten to go through and walk through today, and it was really cool, man. It was like almost a town of dead people, I guess you could kind of say. But everybody had have you guys ever seen this Buenos Aires cemetery I'm talking about?
No, we'll have a look at it while we're talking to you.
I'm envisaging something like is in New Orleans. Is it like that?
Yeah, it's kind of like the New Orleans one, but it's like 10 times bigger than that. It's everybody's got these statues and these I don't know. It had me so introspective today because I was like, man, it was like almost like a whole town of these mausoleums and these I don't know. It had me just thinking so hard. And today I had in my AirPods too. I was listening to the Tarzan soundtrack, like Phil Collins, while I was going through it too, and it just made me. I know, I was just feeling.
What a moment in time!
You'll be in my heart while that was happening, and I was like, God, you're so good, man.
Just
it was
like
awesome.
some sort of spiritual experience right there in the cemetery.
Yeah, Phil Collins did his damn thing on that record, didn't he?
Yeah, I would do it.
Hey, Teddy, when I first started seeing you coming up on YouTube, when I was just floating across stuff and Instagram and whatever, doing the covers, which I know you, many years ago, did you? Oh, there was you, right? That was coming up all the time for me, and another group called Boyce Avenue. Do you know who they are? Have you seen them?
Oh, yeah, dude. Those guys rip, man.
But I thought, both of you are just so incredible, and just seeing all these amazing covers come across. And
Boyce Avenue has been doing this way longer. I mean, they were really kind of maybe one of the first YouTube cover artists that were I mean, they've probably been doing this 10 years longer than I have done on YouTube. I mean, those guys have been around forever on YouTube.
How do you go from being able to because when you just see you go, oh, mate, this guy's incredible with his voice. So, and just putting you next to them for a second, they haven't gone on to do any original stuff, but being able to translate from you to doing covers to doing your original stuff and making it hit, do you know what the difference is?
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely always a fear. I was terrified that, I'd sang some of the best songs that ever been written.
Yeah.
And also gotten some notoriety from singing the best songs ever written.
Yeah.
And I was so terrified of writing anything as good as those songs, I'm like, how do you write original songs after you sang I Can't Make You Love Me? You're like, still the one.
Still the one.
How do you if you get notoriety for doing some of the best songs ever written, how do you ever write songs that are that good? And I definitely had this fear of never working as a original artist, and I still feel like I'll never write songs as good as those, but I'm just trying to write something as honest as the way I listen to those songs.
Yeah, yep.
And they're connecting. So I'm grateful that I broke out of that space, and still also I still do covers. We sing covers every night. I still listen to music every day and fall in love and sing my favorite songs every day. And so I'm grateful that my songs started working, but I still will never write an I Can't Make You Love Me. Hopefully one day I will.
You will.
But,
you will.
I mean, once Lose Control was out there, your career has it's literally skyrocketed. And I mean, it's a giant leap for you to next minute you're at the Brit Awards covered in soft toys on the red carpet. Talk us through that costume choice for the Brit Awards.
Well, so we were there's this Brazilian designer called Division, And my buddy Christian, like showed me the jacket, and I was like, I love it because there's a piece of me that like loved it. Like, when kids like grow out of toys and they like grow out of toys and these toys don't get like used anymore, and these toys are getting like put in like Goodwill or like they're getting taken away and these toys don't get love anymore. I was like, what an opportunity to like repurpose these toys to get like put on a red carpet and get love again. I don't know. There was something about it that I felt like kind of drawn to, that I was like, I love that these toys are getting love again and these toys are getting a chance to be stars again. It was like, it made me feel like Toy Story, like the movie.
I was going to say, it's the next in the Toy Story franchise is these toys end up on the red carpet as York jacket. That's great.
Yeah, now they're all celebrity, and what's been crazy is like we just finished our European leg of this tour, and dude, every show there was somebody that had like a jacket that they had made with all the like they had made their own jacket with. There was somebody in the front row every night, which was crazy. And like it's been like one of the craziest viral things. Like people have made their own jackets and come to our shows with like their own teddies all over the jacket. And
that's the best.
How cool is that?
Teddy, how do you get used to now traveling around the world and people coming to see you play? You used to that kind of stuff to have notoriety?
Dude, you don't get used to that at all. It's such a weird thing, and it's growing every day exponentially.
Yeah, it is.
Like, and you're in a place like this, like Argentina, and you think you're like,
what the hell?
Nobody knows you're here, or that you're okay to go somewhere, and then next thing you know, you're getting surrounded and happy to do that. Happy to like love on everybody, but. Things are getting different, and they're getting different, and they're compounding every day, and it's getting bigger and bigger every day. And as soon as I think I got a grip on it, there's like it's getting way bigger than it is. It's growing. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to like be as present as I can, even if I got 5 seconds with somebody or 10 seconds with somebody, or 10 minutes with somebody. I'm trying to make sure I'm present for every interaction I have, and that's like. Whether it's 10 seconds or 10 minutes, or if there's 2,000 people in my face, try to make sure if you got 10 seconds with 2,000 people that you're present for every one of them. I just try to be as like present as I can and be grateful.
That's really
I just try to be grateful the best I can. And they can all have one too.
You're a good guy, Teddy. You're a genuinely nice guy. You're very, you're authentic and you're very genuine, and that shows through. So no wonder you're selling out stadiums all over the world now. Incredible. You deserve it. Before we let you go, we got one last question. Our producer wants to know, does it hurt to get tattoos on your eyelid?
Okay, the eyelid it was a weird thing. Okay, the eyelid, it's got to be a very, very tiny needle because obviously you don't want it to puncture.
Yes.
So it didn't hurt that bad, but also like if you guys have ever gotten tattooed, you know that the needle like bounces like 100 miles per hour or something.
Yep.
It like bounces. So you feel your eyeball bouncing, So it irritates your eye. Like it makes you cry a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You literally feel your eyeball bouncing. It's like a weird sensation. It doesn't hurt as bad as you think, but it's a weird sensation. But also, like when I was in 9th grade, like Lil Wayne dropped the Carter 3, and that changed my life forever. And he had like fear of God on his stuff. And I was like, dude, one thing I'll do for sure is like, I have to be like Lil Wayne. I have to get my eyelids tattooed. That's like what I set my life to do.
It's great to have ambition.
So I literally only have my eyelids tattooed because I want to be like Lil Wayne.
That's enough. That's reason enough. Good on you, Teddy.
He's the coolest guy ever. He's the coolest guy ever.
Teddy, we can't wait till you hit our shores. It's going to be brilliant. RAC Arena, 29th of October. Thank you for talking to us, Teddy.
Yeah, see you guys soon.
See you, buddy.
Thanks,
you.
Mate. That was awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you guys.
Nathan, Nat, and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, Reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Windsor Gardens or download the Revo Fitness app, revofitness.com.au, or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.